Guys, Apple has dropped an absolute nuke on us gamers. Like on their iPhone event recently, they have announced that the iPhone 15 Pro and the 15 Pro Max can play natively AAA games, console games like Spider-Man, Starfield, that sort of games. I have questions, I have thoughts. We need to discuss this, man. We need to catch up on this. This is so exciting. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rehan. So nice to see you back. Imagine like you're sitting at your in-laws, you're in a restaurant, on a train station, waiting for a bus, or like in a hospital, like go for bed, and you're somewhere where like you're bored to death, you've got nothing to do, your laptop's not with you, and you're like, I wish I could play Spider-Man, or I wish I could play Starfield or something. And you pull out your iPhone and you launch Starfield and away you go, and you're gaming on it natively, no streaming, nothing, no internet required, and you're having fun. This is literally what Apple's saying about the 15 Pro and the 15 Pro Max, that those phones can natively run AAA console games. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, man, like that's crazy. Okay, quickly, what Apple has said, which really excited me, and like I've got questions, is like the new 15 Pro and 15 Pro iPhones, they have a new chip called the A17 Pro. That thing apparently has got so much power, so the GPU and the neural network, the magic inside it is so good that apparently it can run AAA games natively on the iPhone. And when Apple dropped this bomb, I was like, what? Excuse me? Like, how the heck are you gonna do that? Like, that's like stuff of dreams. That's impossible. So like when I heard that, I had questions, like, and I did my research, and this is the thing I want to discuss. Like, there's so many problems and challenges, like physics they have to beat, Apple has to beat to get this thing working. Let's talk about this, man. First of all, the problems, like there's so many things like physical and financial and legal challenges and problems. The big one, like the first one, is the price, the literal price of the iPhone 15 Pro and the Pro Max. They're like $1,000 plus phones. They're like expensive. That's like PC's like workstation money, man. Like you build a whole rig with that kind of money, like with GPU. So like no one will go out and buy an iPhone just for gaming. Yes, the only reason why you would game on it because it's in your pocket. So still, not many people go and buy the Pro and then like just do gaming on it. So the price of entry on this is like huge. Apple needs to like lower it somehow, man. The other big one is like the cooling. Like if you've ever played a game on the Steam Deck or like the Nintendo Switch, they have fans everywhere. They have vents, they have active cooling, and they still get warm. They get hot with like some big games. iPhone does not have a fan. Like it has no cooling vents, nothing. It is absolutely passive, and usually you have a nice case on it as well, which insulates it in a way. If you want to run AAA games on an iPhone, how the heck are you gonna cool down that thing? That thing is gonna be like hotter than the sun. Like how are we gonna hold that thing, like cool it down? Like it's gonna run out the battery as well. Like running those games, like a good decent gaming laptop with beefy batteries doesn't last like 2 hours maybe on a big AAA game like Cyberpunk or something. How is an iPhone gonna do that? Like they must have like found a new physics, like a new law of physics to like break this thing. Like there's limitations, man. Like dude, there's some things that you can't just like break, like physics, science. Oh, have you seen the size of these console games? Like Starfield, the new big game, on Xbox is like 105 gigs, and on PC it's 125 gigs. Dude, that's like huge. Like iPhones, we're already struggling with like space on them, like with photos and videos and all that. Imagine like a couple of handful of these games and you're finished. Like you're filled up with all the space. Like how are they gonna do it? The only thing I can think of is just like the Nintendo Switch. They might like make them slightly smaller, have less details and all that. Still, they're not small. Like they're a good like 15, 20 something gigs. So how are we gonna do that? Like we need to like find out seriously. Besides the whole physics thing and all the whole like physical limitations, there's problems with like the game stores. Like, literally from history you can see that any games which has to go on an iPhone has to go on the App Store. Going on the App Store would mean that Apple will take 30% of their cut as well, which is not some or most developers want to do. They already are really upset with it. Epic and Microsoft have problems with this sort of stuff as well, and there's Apple's policies as well. Apple manage what game or what content goes on their phones or ecosystem and what doesn't. How's that going to work? Also, Apple's got history with gaming companies, and it's not mostly that awesome. Like yes, Ubisoft and like Kojima doing Death Stranding on the iPhone and Mac, that's fine, but then all the big games, the big boys like Electronic Arts, you've got Bethesda, Microsoft, Activision, Microsoft, you've got Epic Store with their old games, and Fortnite missing from the whole thing. Like literally, like the big games are with people who have literal beef with Apple. So how is that gonna work, man? Like, I want to play all my games. Like, I just don't want to be like, yeah, Assassin's Creed Mirage is there and that's running, and again, like a handful of games and like nothing. Like, no one's gonna do gaming like that. They want their whole library there, and that's my other challenge. Like, I don't want to buy these games again. Like, most people don't want to buy Red Dead or like Death Stranding or Spider-Man or something again on a new platform. I want to have my Steam library on the iPhone. That's what excites me. That's what I want to do. So I don't want to pay again for all these games. Like, that's going to put off a lot of gamers. Oh, and also let's not forget the mobile gaming industry. The mobile gaming like space is already saturated. Like, are we forgetting the Steam Deck and the Switch? Like, literally, dude, like, they are the giants in mobile gaming, and you've got stuff like Iron Neo and other bits coming up, and Lenovo's got a new one coming out as well. Like, literally, this space is already filled up with like giants of mobile gaming, and they are cheap. Like, the Steam Deck right now is on sale, is like $300 something. The Switch you can buy for like 200 or like 300 for the whole kit, and then they've got their own games as well. Like, the Steam Deck can do AAA games. I can play like Starfield on it, I can play the Division 2 on it, or like all the other games. Nintendo's got their own Mario and the whole kingdom of their beautiful classic games. This is not going to be like a walk in the park, literally. Like, Apple can't just be like, oh yeah, we can play games as well, now we're going to take over. This is gonna be a tough one, man. I think to get over all of these problems, like, Apple will have to come up with some like smart solutions. They'll have to come up with cheaper gaming Macs, like the Mac Mini, but even like less, like not just 500 something. It needs to be cheaper. iPhones need to be cheaper. Like the Steam Deck and the Switch, they are still cheaper than the cheapest iPhone, which can't even do AAA gaming. The iPhone SE, that thing is over $400-500. So they have to come up with like literally a game pod, like bring back the iPod with like this A17 Pro chip at a cheaper price, maybe subsidize it like Sony and Microsoft do something like that, so that it's more accessible. I think if Apple wants to really make this work, they will need to change. They will have to play with the rules of the gaming industry. I think this is my opinion. They'll have to, like, first of all, let us use our Steam library. Like, I don't want to buy another game, like, again, like Death Stranding for the 5th time or the 8th time on another platform. I want my Steam and my Epic libraries to work on the iPhone natively. I do not want to do anything else. Just like the Steam Deck. The reason why the Steam Deck is so beloved is you pick it up, you install all the game stores, and away you go. You don't have to buy a single new game to have fun. And that thing works beautifully. It's just so Apple will have to support those. If they lock down those games to the App Store and like their price at plus $30 or $40, that's gonna be a tough one, man. Like, how are we gonna do that? Apple will also have to come out with like cheaper gaming devices. They'll have to make a cheap Mac Mini or like a cheap iPhone, just their cheapest iPhone, which can't even do like mobile, like AAA gaming. The iPhone SE is more expensive than the Steam Deck and the Switch. They have to come up with like a literal new game pod, iPod with gaming chips inside it. Make smaller Apple TV, like a slightly beefier Apple TV with like a gaming chip on it. Small mini Mac Mini with a gaming focused like setup on it. That would be like amazing, man. Come on, that's what we want. And like the toughest one, even beyond the physics of cooling down phones and running these things on the phone, is going to be the political and legal things, like the wrangling with Microsoft and Epic. We have to get them on board. Like, we have to bury the beef. Like, the gaming industry is really smart. Gamers are smart. They're not going to go on a platform which is handicapped, like half your library, all your favorites are not there. We need to get this sorted. We need the cloud, we need native gaming, like everything for this whole business to work. Like, Apple needs to sort out their beef with Microsoft and Epic. Clearly, you guys can see I am super hyped about this. I still have a lot of questions. Like, I really want to talk about this with like people. So like, if you've watched this so far, like, please, let's go in the comments. Let's discuss, man. I have so many questions, so many things I want to talk. Like, I want your smart brains down there. Like, let's talk about this, man. Please, like, leave a comment and like discuss like what you think about this. Are you excited? Are you gonna think about getting an iPhone 15 Pro or something? Like, let's talk, man. Also, before you go, please press the like button and also subscribe, please. That would be amazing. I want to do more of this stuff. You can see my energy. Like, I need you. Come with me. Let's go.